What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Land, and we are continuing the series Who Would Be the Best in Smash today with something that's kind of abnormal. So I got a comment on my last video from Bot Boppy that stated, what if every character was a Nintendo console in Smash Ultimate? Who would win? And this got me thinking this is a very weird and cranky idea that might just work. So I soon realized there weren't that many Nintendo consoles to make a whole giant list on, so I decided to make a list with pretty much all the consoles. Now, are these all the consoles ever? No, definitely not, but I just try to pick out the best ones for the certain situations, and which ones would kind of, you know, have a unique moveset in Smash. Yeah, this is weird, okay? Just stay with me. So if you're new to the series, we look at each character, well, in this case, each console, and see which one could have the potential best moveset. And for these consoles, what we're gonna do is kind of look at what would make them a good fighter in Smash. We're not talking about software, and we're really not talking about anything that the console can play, but we're talking about, you know, accessories, controllers, the console itself, and how it could impact as a fighter in Smash Ultimate. This video is complete imagining. None of this stuff could ever really happen, obviously, so I know lots of people are going to get triggered in the comments if one of their favorite consoles doesn't win. It doesn't matter how good the console is, it just matters how it can handle itself on the battlefield, baby. But if you're new to the channel, please feel free to like the video if you enjoyed today and subscribe if you are new. And thank you so much for tuning in. Without further ado, let's get into the list. So we start off with the Intellivision, and this one is kind of the bare bones of the consoles right now because there's not much it looks like it could do. The controller is this arcade joystick type of thing, and maybe you can fling it back and hit somebody, or maybe that's his smash attack, so you can kind of fling his stick. This is going to be a long video, but Intellivision is not going to work. So next up we have the Vectrex, and this one's kind of a giant television as part of the console, and this can make it the giant heavyweight. You know, it can also change the colors of its screens by replacing them with different colors. This can either affect the status effects of the character himself or other characters on the stage. If he switched to green, maybe increases his jump just like Shulk and speed and power and stuff like that. Or maybe it does different things to the characters, like maybe slow them down, decrease their power, or even their defense. It also has an attachable controller, which could be some of its attacks, but I think I'm gonna go, believe it or not, give this one a try. The Nintendo Family Computer really doesn't have anything special. It's a console with its controllers attached to it, and the controllers are extremely small. Maybe it could do something with detaching and attaching its controllers, kind of like fists flying off and coming back to it. And then obviously you have the game cartridges that go on the top, which could be for an up smash or even an up air to jump right out of the console. But that's really about it. Nothing really special stands out to me. Now, the NES might look like a regular console, but I can promise you, it's more than that, way more. The accessories can make this moveset unlimited. You could have the NES Blaster to shoot opponents, you have Rob himself that can come out as a small companion, you have a whole dance pad where maybe, I don't know, the NES breaks down real quick. You even have a power glove where maybe there's a super powerful punch that the NES can use. There's a lot of potential here, so definitely. Now, the Sega Genesis and the Neo Geo are kind of just basic consoles that just take regular cartridges, so there's not much here. I mean, you could kind of maybe get creative. Not really. There's nothing here. The SNES has accessories as well, but not quite as good as the NES. You have the Super Scope, which would be really cool, even though that's an item in the game already. You also have a mouse. I don't really remember or know why that's even there, but there's some other small things. I would give it just the benefit of doubt just because it has accessories, but I don't think it's kind of the level that the NES was on. Now, the more I look at this list, I realize that Nintendo makes some pretty unique looking consoles, and they're probably going to be the ones that remain on this list, because we look at this next three and they really don't have anything either. The Sega Saturn and the PS1 can, I guess, shoot disc out of their tray as frisbees as some type of projectile attack. But the Atari really doesn't have anything at all. It's once again just that, you know, arcade stick in the console itself. But even with the disc shooting, the PS1 and the Sega Saturn are not enough to make the list. The Nintendo 64 and the Dreamcast are also consoles that really don't have anything special about them. There's the controller and there's the console. Still nothing yet. We'll get into more diverse movesets as we move on to future consoles. The PS2 has an ejecting disc and memory cards, which maybe it can shoot out the cards and even the disc, but it's not until the GameCube where we get more accessories, where we have the dance mat, a whole steering wheel, Game Boy connection, and even DK bongos, which would be really cool to have kind of like a music portion. But yeah, it can even connect with Game Boys for some cool like inner crossplay. I don't know. Listen, I'm trying hard here. You also have the microphone, which the only thing I can remember using that for is Mario Party games and just just blatantly yelling things in the mic and seeing if it will work. That's all I can think of, but maybe it's kind of like a hypnosis thing. Maybe it'll use the microphone to make people fall asleep. I don't know. The original Xbox really doesn't have anything, it's just this ginormous console, but the Xbox 360 introduces a lot of things. For instance, one of the things it has is the Kinect, which allows people to kind of move around and interact with their game. So what if you can control other characters? You can make them move, jump off the stage, do all kind of wacky stuff, and that would be pretty cool. And then the PS3 came out with their own thing, the PlayStation Move. It's kind of like the Kinect, and you take these two PlayStation Control. Yeah, no, we're not doing this. The Wii, this is its time to shine. The Wii has tons of capabilities in battle. I mean, you've got the Wiimotes, which could literally just smack people around, and you have tons of accessories like the Wii Wheel, which maybe can help you drive around the stage real fast, maracas, maybe make people dance and get dizzy. You got controller adaptations, you got a shotgun, a crossbow, a fishing pole, I mean, you have everything here. You even have this extra plus thing that goes onto the bottom that helps your calibration. You have the Wii Fit board where maybe you can do some yoga stuff with the Wii. I don't know. It'd be weird, but maybe you could even walk with his little Wiimote legs. The Wii U is in the same spot, but it's even better because it also now has a gamepad, because gamepads make everything better, right? Yeah. But you have the gamepad, you have a stylus, maybe they can draw something and make it come to life real quick, kind of like a PictoChat type of thing, which we'll get to with the DS eventually. But that's kind of how that would work as well. There's also some attachments for the Wii U that you could use, and the Wii U is just kind of like the better version of the Wii. Not to mention, it can also scan these things called Amiibo, where you can have these little figures run around the stage and maybe do super small variants of what they do in real life. Maybe if you have the Mario Amiibo, you can shoot fireballs, or the Luigi Amiibo, you can use a vacuum, and, you know, so on. Then the PS4 comes in and says, we have a controller that you can touch. Yeah, you can poke around the little screen pad thing on the control. There's nothing. It's just another console. You know why? Because all we are doing now is focusing on graphics. So, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe you can just make the screen clearer. Maybe the characters clearer. This is such a Nintendo bias video. Nintendo Land, everybody. Welcome. The Xbox One, just like the PS4, is another power-hungry console that just utilizes, once again, power in order to get its point across. Lots of HD games, nothing much. But, I don't know, make the screen clearer again, or just make everything run at a better frame rate? The Nintendo Switch has the ability to call in a gigantic TV. Imagine that being a Final Smash. The Switch goes into the dock, and on the TV, some type of game plays, and it just blasts everybody off the screen. But in reality, maybe they can use the Joy-Con as some type of cool thing, using the rumble to let you know like when an enemy is about to do something, or I don't know, something cool. Or maybe the rumble kind of like stuns everybody. But then they could use kind of like an AR pointer, because that is kind of possible with the Joy-Con. You can put the Joy-Con on the Switch itself and detach them whenever you want by maybe using your down B or something. That would be really cool. And then kind of having the Switch walk with this little stand, but then the stand would break because it's so wobbly. Now, the original Game Boy is kind of as dull as it gets. It's just this little box that you can take with you. It really can't do much but wobble. The Game Boy Advance SP is nothing special either, because it does get a little bit better when the DS comes out, but then we also have the Sega Game Gear, which is another just small little portable console that kind of reminds you of the Game Boy. I guess for the Game Boy, you could also say that it connects with the GameCube with those adapters, but those adapters are going to be a hassle on stage. Maybe a great recovery, though. Next up, we have the Virtual Boy, and this could kind of be cool. Maybe it uses some type of VR sequence and makes the whole stage red for its final smash or something. But maybe you can kind of use cool, I don't know, VR elements. I know VR is a big thing nowadays, and this is kind of the, beginning of it all, the Virtual Boy. So maybe they could do some cool things where you can look through it and battle in first person. I don't know. I'm giving it a shot, though, because it's unique. But the PSP also falls short just because it's just very basic. There's just not much to it. It's just a portable console. Look at the thing. What could it possibly do in a fighting game if it was a fighter? I mean, nothing. And last but not least, you have the Nintendo 3DS, which I'm going to give a shot just because it opens and closes and maybe it can clamp people inside. It also scans Amiibo, which you can use as a partner, like I said before, with the Wii U. And not only that, but it has a stylus just like the Wii U gamepad, where maybe you can poke people or draw on them or draw things on the DS itself in order to turn them into life to help you alongside battle. Not to mention, there's also a mic you can blow in that actually blows people off the stage, and you could also maybe have cool 3D effects where maybe you can make people look in 3D. I don't know what 3D and virtual reality is really hard to make a moveset out of. How do you make a moveset out of that? Maybe you guys can think better than I can. Well, looking over this list, like I said, goodness gracious, this is a hard one because I gotta make up movesets. But my final 4 that I picked is the Nintendo GameCube, the Wii U, the Nintendo Switch, and the Nintendo 3DS. Look at that, all Nintendo consoles. But the first one to go is definitely the GameCube. The GameCube was great, but there were just so many better alternatives, and the same thing with the Wii. There's future consoles that do everything, and we'll get to that in a second. And the 3DS will come in third because there are a lot of functions that the Wii U can do the same as the DS, like the stylus, the mic, and even the amiibo support. So the DS is going to have to take the L on this one. But the winner of the console wars for Smash Ultimate will be the Nintendo Wii U. The Wii U comes out on top simply because it had so much more variety. Yes, you have the Joy-Con and the dock with the TV and all that cool stuff, but the Wii U is kind of a Wii, a GameCube all in one. And yes, you can use all the GameCube accessories on the Wii U. So you can use the GameCube accessories, the Wii accessories, and the Wii U accessories. You have the stylus, all the different sports equipment, and even the amiibo support. So there was just so much going on for the Wii U. It came out on top. Probably for the first time ever has it ever won any list. Well guys, that is it for the video. If you have any more recommendations for who I should do next, whether it be Luigi, I heard some of you say, or another Zelda character, whatever it may be, let me know in the comments down below. Or if you want to pick something completely wacky like we have here with the consoles, also let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, and if you enjoy the video, leave a like. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.